Hey Jim, good morning or afternoon or evening. I wanted to talk more about one concept that I mentioned at the distillery one time that you said was actually helpful to you. And so maybe we can just build on that, and then some of these other ideas will come into play later. One thing you might start easing into your practice a little bit is talking through beat numbers while you're playing. And it's not going to be easy, but just start doing a little bit at a time. And so the example I believe we talked about at the distillery was just that general feel for a lot of police songs where you're emphasizing the ands, the offbeats on the hi-hat instead of the downbeats, the quarter notes. Getting used to talking through that. And you can talk yourself through it away from the drums even while you're listening. Put on a police song and chances are, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, he's going to emphasize 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can even talk through that while you're listening to the songs away from the drums, and then sit at the drums and work on that feel. So counter example, the ZZ Top you've been playing is very quarter note heavy, right? You've just got 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and really 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. ZZ Top, quarter notes all day, right? Downbeats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. ZZ Top, quarter notes all day. With the Police, a lot of it is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you're emphasizing the ands, the other eighth notes, the offbeats. And a lot of times in ska and reggae, that's called the one drop. It's just a stylistic hallmark of those genres. And by the way, if I haven't mentioned this in any other video, a lot of times when people are syllabizing drum beats, when they're talking through beats out loud, they count the quarter notes, they say and on the eighth notes, and for 16th notes, they'll say 1 E and ah, 2 E and ah. So if people are saying 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, that's a measure of music in 16th notes. So hopefully that all makes sense. But when you're first starting to do this, you might not be able to play all the limbs at the same time. So, when you're first starting to talk through it. So talk through those beats while you're listening to the song. And on YouTube, you can even slow down the video, which is super helpful. Slow it down as much as you need to. Talk through the song while you're listening. You don't even have to play anything. Then get on the drums and just do one limb. Just start with your right hand and just think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. And an easy way to emphasize anything on the hi-hat is to play the accented notes on the edge of the two cymbals and the unaccented notes on just the top cymbal. And this is also an opportunity to use that Moeller technique where you're just catching the bounce. It's just one arm stroke. I'm not using my whole arm every time. I'm just dropping the stick and picking it up. Make it easier on yourself. But so, start thinking about 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and see if you can keep track of both of them. And then throw in one other limb with it while you're talking. See if you can keep up with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's tough even for me. And slow it down. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Or if you can't get the snare going yet, see if you can put the bass drum together with it, the right foot. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's not as easy as it looks. Obviously, even I'm not great at it. But the point is not to be perfect at it. The point is to try and start thinking about it. You're planting seeds and stretching your brain. And you're changing how you hear everything and feeling everything. You're training your mind before you're training your hands. Your hands are only going to do what your brain tells them to do. So we're training our brains and our ears first. And I think, since you said that was helpful, hopefully elaborating on that and reinforcing all of that will continue to be helpful in the future. You can take that concept of emphasizing ands and being able to feel that count eventually, and take that further.